Hey, what is up guys? It's ElasticSpyder here, and today I've got a Fletcher game. Before we get into the gameplay though, I want to first mention that I was in chat talking to my buddies, Stuntman and Oliver. Stuntman's channel will be linked in the description below. He does some awesome content, and he's a great guy. So, if you like World of Warships, he does a lot of kind of leaked information and that sort of stuff. So, if you guys are interested in that, please do subscribe to his channel and watch his content. And yeah, subscribe to our channel while you're at it as well if you're a newcomer here. So today we are featuring the Fletcher. The Fletcher is certainly one of the best American destroyers. However, there's not a lot of people that commentate on it. I apologize for that crazy camera shaking, but I guess it's a warm-up. Either way, the Fletcher is one of the best U.S. destroyers in the whole line for several reasons. Well, it gets defensive fire, and you don't need to get some BSC hull for defensive fire. I have kind of made the switch to defensive fire just because if you can, if there's a plane that's spotting you, you can easily shoot it down with defensive fire, and you don't have to worry about having it be spotted. And you actually do a lot of damage to enemy aircraft, even T-10. You can shoot down quite a few planes at T-10. However, this will not save you. It's really just to panic the torpedo bombers or the regular dive bombers, and even it can help your friendly aircraft carrier in fighting his fighters. That's something that I see myself doing a lot in the Fletcher. But unfortunately for us, I guess fortunately for us, there is no aircraft carrier in this game. So that's a good sign, but also a bad sign. But it's really up to you whether you choose defensive fire or speed boost. I just prefer defensive fire, as I've mentioned before. Now, some of the differences between the Fletcher and the Benson, because the Benson was one of my favorite ships. I actually still have the Benson just because it was such a great and enjoyable ship. The Fletcher does get some more health, and it does get access to the tier 9 module upgrade. You get an extra slot at tier 9. The Benson gets spotted, I start shooting at him. And I'm gonna have to smoke here because two destroyers pops up. As soon as I see two destroyers pop up, whether both of them are shooting at me or not, I always want to smoke because I do not want to try to fight both of them at the same time. Because one can spot, one can just shoot at me, which is not good at all. I do get a torpedo hit on that Bismarck. So that is going to be a flooding on him. So, but again, back to the differences between the Benson and the Fletcher. There's not too many differences. Again, health pool, the tier 9 access to the modules or the equipment, whatever you want to call it. You can either equip the reload or the gun reload or several other things, also torpedo reload. I personally run the torpedo reload. I think the difference between like 3.2 seconds on the Benson reload for its main battery to something like 0.4 seconds. That's I don't know if it's worth it for me. The torpedoes have a better chance of hitting and doing more significant damage than my guns do. I mean, that's just some basic facts there. But you know, that's just why I do that. Some other people might opt for the range or the reload, and instead of the torpedo reload, but that's okay. I definitely wouldn't recommend it. The torpedoes are so good, and that, speaking of another difference, the torpedo reload makes these torpedoes so much better, and they are actually better. That you do get 10.5 kilometer range on the torpedoes, and I believe they are slightly faster. They might not be. I'm not too sure on that one, but either way, I do kill that Bismarck. But the reload is just so good because you can utilize those 10.5 kilometer torpedoes. Most of the time when you shoot them, by the time they're reloaded, or by the time the torpedoes run out of range, they tend to have about 20 seconds left to reload, 20-30 seconds, which is very, very reasonable, and you're pumping these things out every minute and a half. So that is awesome. That allows your damage to increase exponentially from the Benson, but they are still good torpedoes. They do have the good detectability of the Benson torpedoes as well. Not quite as good, but it's pretty standard. So the Fletcher gets spotted. I'm going to take some pot shots at him. He smokes up. I am spotted by an aircraft, but fortunately for me, he's not looking at me. And then there goes my my detection. Now, one thing I want to point out here, bit of mistake. Should have launched one torpedo salvo there towards the Fletcher, and then waited till right about now to shoot it. That way there's a little bit of a cross drop on the Fletcher, but I was not able to do that, obviously, because the Minotaur gets spotted there and his smoke runs out and I need to get out of Dodge quickly. But fortunate enough for me, the detectability on the Fletcher is 5.8 kilometers, which is certainly amazing. And my torpedoes ended up missing the Fletcher, but they look like they will hit the Minotaur. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Devastating strike. Get wrecked. Get wrecked. And yeah, so that was another reason why I love these torpedoes. You can see they just ran out there, and then I've got 26 seconds on the reload. Another mistake that I probably shouldn't have made here is I probably shouldn't have gone in and ambushed this Fletcher, because damage for damage, I know I'm probably a better player than him, so taking this risk of me dying is a bit risky, but I end up being okay in the end. It is going to be a close one, though. I do miss a few of my shots, but so does he. Just kind of maneuvering in and out. This is usually how you want to fight U.S. destroyers, is kind of maneuvering in and out, getting some of your guns on play, some or all of them, depending on the situation. And the gun traverse is so good that you can kind of maneuver back and forth from left to right. You don't have to just stick to one side and kind of do this fishtail thing. I do end up killing the Fletcher, but I had to smoke because 3.8k health is not something I would like to keep, not lose. Bit worried that this Donskoy's radar doesn't look like he has it up. Then the New Orleans gets spotted. I think he's a bit oblivious to where I am at, so I'm just gonna dump torpedoes in this kind of a choke point. It is a very nice choke point because you got one big island and one small island, and there's only so much that ships can maneuver in that little choke point. So semi-torpedoes in there. There's the radar, probably from the Donskoy. It could also be from the New Orleans. Missed torps on the New Orleans, but the Donskoy, these torpedoes are so good, and even though they were spotted quite far away, I still managed to get 2 torpedo hits, and that is awesome. So, radar just ran out, so now I can turn safely. I do have to be careful, though. New Orleans is still within radar range, so... But another thing that the U.S. destroyers shine at is firing from stealth. You can, if you've got a full concealment build on the Fletcher, you can stealth fire at 9.6 kilometers, which is very, very good. This allows you to engage safely from a distance and not worry about having people shoot back at you. Now, if you get spotted, then it's a bit of a pain in the butt, but that's okay, because you can go undetected. 5.8 kilometer concealment is quite good. Speaking of my build, I am running basic firing training, last stand. I run superintendent just for the fact that I get an extra smoke. I like, a lot of times I like to smoke up my friendly team. I try to in this game, but my team ended up dispersing before I could get a good smoke off. But vigilance is also a valid option. You do fight a lot of enemy destroyers up close and personal, so seeing those torpedoes a little bit sooner is always helpful. Shoot one at one Bismarck and one at the other Bismarck, and we'll just have to see if they will hit. They are pretty fast torpedoes, so I reckon I might get one or two. That's usually how it works in the Fletcher. Excuse me. So, yeah, and then, so vigilance or superintendent. Looks like maybe I'll get torpedo hits. There we go, one torpedo hit on the Bismarck, and I kill him for my 4th kill of the game. And then I actually do run survivability expert, as you can see by the 20,000 HP pool on my ship. I run this for several reasons. Again, you are usually knife fighting with other DDs, so it is nice to have that little bit of extra HP. Especially, it helps with Russian DDs because they tend to be a little bit more tanky than the United States Navy destroyers are. So that is why I run that. Another reason you could say is because I can actually stealth torp very comfortably. Didn't need to smoke here, but I can stealth torp very easily, stealth fire very easily. So having that extra HP, without the extra HP, I would be dead here. And so that's being alive in a destroyer, especially in a domination game like this, is certainly so vital. If you don't run the HP module, you have to stick farther back so you can utilize your range, or if you use Demo Expert, again, you can, that is something that you could do, but again, if you can't be alive, you can't do damage. That is the basis for everything. Now, that is just one thing I like. Pretty much, and then obviously concealment expert, but yeah, I've tried AFT in the past. I just think that AFT is not worth it. Your gun arcs are too bad, even at the max range of, 12.5 kilometers, 12.9 kilometers. So it is certainly not too good. I really wouldn't recommend AFT. There's really no point. It's helping your guns a little bit in terms of AA, because it does boost AA since these are dual purpose guns. You usually don't use your AA for all that much, so it's I mean, even if you do run defensive fire, it's still not useful because you want to have your AA turned off most of the time anyway. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't recommend AFT if you're thinking about speccing into AA. The only other thing again is Demolition Expert, which is a decent pick. I just, again, prefer the HP because I wouldn't be alive here if I wasn't. There I pop my defensive fire to showcase my shooting down plane skills, I guess. But I do get radared, so I have to get out of dodge again quite quickly. But I managed to do that. Still pretty close, 3 on 4. I'm on very low health, and having only 2 cruisers left that have seen better days. I think one of them's on about full health. The other one's, again, he's doing about half health. But again, they are squishy cruisers, so, and with an Iowa still left and a Gumo, it is going to be down to the wire here. Now I'm gonna have to take care of this Atago. My two cruisers up north, they're gonna have to deal with the rest of their fleet. I'm going to try and cap this before I get spotted, or the Atago gets on cap. Definitely before the Atago gets on cap. 1 second, can I do it? I just barely got it. Bit unfortunate for him. I'm gonna launch these torpedoes a little off the gray marker, just for the fact that I bet he's gonna turn in. He wants to get in the cap, and he's probably expecting my torpedoes, if I might be honest with you guys. So one of our teammates does kill the enemy battleship. Right there, I'm just checking what my detection is for my stealth fire capabilities. Get a nice torpedo hit there, takes out most of his damage. I managed to get high caliber. I did get, I believe, First Blood, Devastating Strike, Confederate. Kind of missed those. I've been talking so much. But yeah, so this has been certainly a well-rounded game. The Gumo is about to die from this Edinburgh. This Atago is actually on low health. Something must have hit him, probably the torpedoes, but that just about does it. I'm gonna end up killing this guy before his shells can reach me, and I got Kraken right there at the end. Certainly a great game, and this is pretty classic Fletcher gameplay, something that you guys should always kind of study and see what I'm doing, kind of being in the front lines. I do get some awesome damage there. 3k base XP. There's my damage really quickly. And then certainly the credits are always good. But I think that's just about it. And I will see you guys in the next one.